Welcome back to Factorio Hyperbase, where we build a ridiculously large vanilla base, basically vanilla. There are a handful of mods that we're running to enable us to set it up a little bit faster. One of them is this light mod, even more light I think it's called, something of that nature. Let us grab some transport belts. So we're also running quick start, which has helped us get to this position very quickly. One thing that we do want to do is I want about a half stack, which I might even start sort of around here somewhere, and a half stack of stone brick, because that's all that you tend to need, I guess. And I want to get the stone online so that we can keep building furnaces and the like. Where exactly is my stone? Oh, it's down here. I've already passed it. And do I have any more? I have 3. That's not very many. Let's get a few more. Over here. This is the stone. It's not a very large patch, so we'll just have to do our best with what we've got. That pretty much covers the whole thing. We'll be trying to get we will be trying to get science up this episode. It shouldn't be too hard to do. Normally I would have a mini science sort of bootstrapped to get science going, so you could actually get the various technologies that have enabled us to get to this part. But in this case we have not needed them because we already had a whole bunch of components and so on to kick us off. So if I want a mini one of these things, which would be basically the starting part, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, that's like half. That does kind of conveniently fit. Yep, that'll do. Let's get rid of all of that. So this can generate our stone brick. I will use my bots to get rid of that for me. So we need stone brick and stone. Actually, that's going to be a slight problem. Might get rid of that one. Let's run the stone straight down. Separate out about here. And yeah, the bots can start laying this for me. Let's bring the stone down to the main base, which will be this one here. For the sole reason that, oops, I don't need that one. That we've ended up on this side, and let's do stone brick likewise. I want the stone brick because that will give me some pathways and help speed up transport around the base. I do have a car sitting over to the other side, but yeah, it's kind of taking its time. So we do have a few more of these guys. Maybe if I stand up here somewhere, it will start building this out for me. We're not going to need all of that. In fact, that will be sufficient. It's almost faster just to lay this by hand, but that's alright. They are getting there. Not quite sure where that is up to. But we can certainly bring this down to here and run a little bit of coal up as is required for this setup. Probably going to need a few more inserters. Low on iron plate. These are unpowered as... oh no, they're not. They have power. Are we out of... we do appear to be out of these. Alright. And we are missing some iron to make more of the inserters. At least I haven't had to handcraft electronic circuits, because obviously it gave me some to start with, which is rather nice of it. Rather quick start. How are we going with that? I suppose it's slightly easier doing it this way rather than running up and down. But the time saving probably isn't that significant. Oh. This one is missing. Oi, bots. It doesn't want to let me. Alright, let's do this. We cannot because we are out once again. Let's see if I can get it to place these ones. With a bit of luck. There we go. Now, one thing I am thinking is I might actually boost this up to 4 lanes of what's this called? Plastic. 4 lanes of plastic. Yes, when we get to it. We're not there yet. Now, oops. If I grab all of that, what we can do is, this is very close now, I might put it here. I want to create a path, and actually, yeah, that's about the width I want. So this brings us down to where the green circuit level is. We're out of belt again, but this is basically just to see where things should start. So I'm actually going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes of green circuit belt in here. We're not going to do 5 lanes immediately, but let's have it anyway. We are starting to run low on these assembly machines. We can't build any more, unfortunately, so I might just put they're kind of place fillers. Now coming in, there would be 3 lanes of iron plate. I don't know why, it's possibly because it's late, but the brain is not working. 3 lanes of iron plate. This will be the actual green circuits coming through and joining in to what will amount to 6 lanes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the same thing on the other side. Oh, right. That should be 3 lanes of iron through here. This is why you need to space it out. If you're going to give yourself the space that you actually need. So, yep, that's where that goes. And that means that one goes there. I think. And again another 5 lanes of copper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down here we will want our double space to red circuits. Now the point of having all of that space was so that red circuits can be built here. Let me just have a quick look at the red circuit. Oh, I don't have it there, of course. T, what gives us red circuits? Not that. That's blue belt, that's not it. That's modules, there you go, electronics, advanced circuits. So it's 4 copper cable, 2 plastic, 2 electronic circuit. So to get 2 lines of this, you basically need 2 of copper plate, 2 electronic circuit and 2 plastic bar on each side, which is why I doubled up the plastic bar. And I want 2 lanes of red circuits ultimately, so that's what we'll be aiming for. So that is 2 lanes of copper plate coming in. 1 lane is converted into the cable, and it's constantly refed by those. Then we have the machines, and then 4 lanes, and how do we feed out the red circuits in this? That's a very good question. Okay, so maybe what we actually do is have one, 2, 3, 4 lanes out there. If we allow too much space, that's okay. And then we'll have like a mixed lane, which will sort of work out from up here, and then the 2 lanes going out. Our sort of mixed lane, red circuits, and is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another double space, and then we can do science. Now I might have to reclaim some of those because I need them. We're running out. And that's all something of a waste because we're not really ready to lay down that part, but that's alright. Down to here we can start doing red science. Red science is pretty easy. It is just an iron gear wheel machine which produces 2 iron gear wheels a second. We will use 1 iron gear wheel a second per 5 machines, so I guess we'll do 10 machines. 1 iron gear wheel machine should be able to provide for that sort of number. sure where these lines are going to be now. It should be fine. I have it roughly here, so we are out of belt. Oh dear. Oops, don't get too close to that side. We're going to want to have all of this happen sooner or later, so it's not too terrible to have some of it happen now, but let's grab some of that. Why are you flashing? Oh, for some reason you don't actually have what's going down there. There we go. Let's grab a little bit of pathway. Yep. Help speed our speed our little trip down here. So yeah, we're already a very long way down, effectively. So what we can do... Seriously, all that belt has been stolen off me already. Alright, we'll have to make some. The iron can come in like so. Copper through here. So this will be copper on one side of the belt, on the underside of the belt. Let's just define these machines correctly. Now, in the recent past, I have actually defined I've given it myself enough room to kind of do, you know, for a second when it comes to science, but I never actually really have time to end up doing that, so it's not what happens. Are we still making that? No. So those are the inputs, these will be the outputs. I will put green on the other side, as is fairly normal, but the other thing that we need to do is get this out to labs. Do I want to leave a gap between them? No, I'll do this the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops. Let's lay down all of these labs. Oh, we're now making green circuits. Don't like that. Actually, if we're going to have 3 rows, it does make sense to allow room for the power, so I will do that after all. 3 rows of belt I'm talking about. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we end up with something like this. They'll end up being more than 10 ultimately. Maybe it's just as well if I run too fast for my bots to keep up. I might be able to get enough belt to complete this exercise. Without them stealing it all. $991. You'd think that's a fairly good start, wouldn't you? Come on, bots, catch up. Just remember, this is a starter base. Oops. We're completely out of these posts. I could use those ones, but I may as well just get rid of some of this wood. And we need to connect this up to our nearest power source. Which could be a little ways away. Maybe if I run these initial wires through here. Aha! That should give me electricity down to here at least. Oops. Power, right. So now if we do have enough belt finally, we can run this down and around. We can connect up this part. Let's finish off. So now it's just a simple matter of the same as any normal bus. We want to bring copper and iron all the way down here. Just so we can get some research happening. For now, as this is our only column of copper, okay, so I want copper on the bottom. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So to get copper on to the bottom, we basically want to run it like so. And now iron, it should be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And well, actually by now that final iron will have been used by the circuits, so that's not so important. This one here should be the one that, for now, we can just have it run straight into there. If I've planned this right, this should connect up to the iron. Whoops. And yes, you can actually build something this big even under the pressure of biters. Whoops, wrong way round. Let's start getting our belts laid down. Where we need them. So with a bit of luck we should see some science action very soon. I am going to use my research priorities in a fairly normal way with automation first, so let's put that into the research queue, such as it is a queue of just one and no more, so it would seem. Yeah, let's lower these guys. Oops. And here's the fourth one. Oops, wrong direction. And now drag this down. So that'll give us our initial 4 lanes of iron once we have filled out the smelting at the top. Soon should see exactly where this iron has gotten to. We are making science. Oh, it started up. There you go. This will let us build more of these machines fairly quickly because it's only 10 science packs, so we shouldn't have any difficulty getting there. How's power? Power is very good. The first science is 10-second science, so, and there you have it. Now we can build more of these guys, but we need electronic circuits to do it. Next up is probably going to be logistics. That gives us undergrounds and splitters. We've been using them from our quick start supply, but we will run out soon enough, so let's get some of them happening. I think next up is probably green circuits. I think I promised we'd do green circuits, so yeah, let's do that. I might even do it in a fairly basic, immediate kind of manner, just to get this up and running. There's logistics. What's next on this? From now on, it doesn't matter so much. We're just going to charge through it. So I think I downloaded amongst these blueprints this sort of thing. Now this isn't quite right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix it. This basically, this is the idea, is that you have a belt, a 4-way belt, and you use, I mean, some people split off from one belt and then rebalance. This does it all in one, and the main benefit of doing it all in one, aside from probably using less splitters overall, is that you you can draw a quarter of each of these belts up to the quantity of a full belt at any point in the belt chain. So say you're towards the end and there's only at most half a belt on each of these. If you just use a single splitter, you at most can get a quarter off, but if you use one of these auto rebalancers, you can still get a full belt off at any point until they're under a quarter weight of compression on each belt. So there's the advantage there. Now this does what I want, but it's kind of around the wrong way. What we actually need is not that. What we actually want is the inside ones first, then a splitter there, and the outside ones. Oops. And we've run out of belt because we've got all this laid down to the sides. But this alternate approach will in fact give us the ability to, in fact we could push that forward if we wanted to, but it gives us the ability to keep the whole thing self-contained within the bounds of the 4 belts rather than spilling out like that other one that I was using. So as soon as I have this design more finalized, we will put it in place. So a bit of luck, there is some belt in here. Good, another 700. As you can see, there's no point whatsoever in putting a limit on that. We are going to use a huge amount of belt. So that there is the design that I actually want to use. Now, to get 1 row out of 4, if we actually had 4, we would want something like that. Get rid of that now. So that will bring copper cable out here. I need to do something similar with the iron plate. Try and reverse engineer where it needs to come through. Well, at least we can just borrow a little bit of the iron. There. Do we have enough of the splitters? We should do. This is the one that we actually need for this whole thing to work. Now in a way this is turning, whoops, yes, oh, wrong one. Having them down here is probably a good idea. Splitters. There we go, we're finally getting green circuits made in a fairly low quantity. Power is easily satisfied. What was that? 9. Oh, and science. I completely forgot that we could do some science. Alright. Probably steel processing. Make that whole process relevant. We want to start making these things. What I want to do with this slot. Wow. Steel, we don't really need turrets. Let's get electronics. Gives us something that's useful but not that useful. What about, oh, they're all green. Right, let's do that. Can we actually do green science? Yes, we can. Okay. Inserters. What I want to do is put this slot into a chest. Because that will save me meanwhile the bots have all but built out our main base. 13. I need some iron plate. That one's finished. Okay, it doesn't really matter now. Let's just do them as we can. Grab some iron. Five, 10 of those. Oh, we're building electronic circuits if we do that. Turrets is done. Let's get stone walls, something else that's fairly pointless, but it is red science. What else do we have? Military. Also at this point fairly pointless, but it's something that needs to be done. What else? Heavy armor. Let's grab some more Let's grab some more circuits. They're not exactly being made that fast. So we can finish this guy off. Amazing. We've actually burnt through all of those wooden poles. Right, now green circuits. We actually need automation 2, which is that one. Alright, let's get automation 2 happening. So, the other thing is green science is simply it's 6 instead of 5, so instead of 10 we need 12 machines. 1, 2, 3. Let's get more green circuits. And we need more iron, but we also need a tech. Fluid handling, I guess. Now we need, well, let's get 2, 3, 4 of those and a bunch of those. There you go, all of my belts. Guys, I think we're going to have to leave green science to the next episode. We've probably done enough for now. We're very shortly going to have to start filling out the rest of these stacks. Yes, it never gets a chance to fill. Kind of inevitable. But next episode we will build this out a little bit better. We'll still have a fairly limited number of because what will happen is there'll be one there and one there, and then that sort of thing. Well, in the moment it seems fairly pointless. Yes, well, that was the wrap up. So yes, I'll see you next time when we will get green science happening and green circuits. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you then. Bye bye for now.